welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video I'm sharing my favourite parts from my San Francisco trip. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So when I did this kind of video for Europe, I also did a video about like disasters from my Europe trip, like everything that went wrong, and I was thinking I would do a similar thing for San Francisco, but unfortunately I have no material because my trip went really smoothly and basically nothing of importance whatsoever went wrong at any point. So I don't have enough material for that video. So in case you're wondering where's the everything that went wrong in San Francisco video, nothing went wrong, guys, sorry. But without further ado, my favourite parts of my San Francisco trip were as follows. The Golden Gate Bridge totally lives up to the hype. I mean, I'd wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge for, like, forever, really, but it so lives up to the hype, okay? Like, I know a lot of landmarks, sometimes you go and visit them and you're like, okay, fair enough, there it is, and you're not like blown away, but I was absolutely blown away by the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, so much so that I made 2 videos on it, but it was just amazing, like the scale of it, and it is exactly like you expect it to be, except it's better. So the Golden Gate Bridge completely lives up to the hype. I was absolutely stunned, and 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 would recommend absolutely anyone else to visit it, because it is genuinely probably one of the best landmarks I've ever seen. And I mean, by this point, I've seen quite a lot of landmarks, and it was just unbelievably stunning. So the Golden Gate Bridge was a huge, huge highlight of the trip for me. Kind of on a similar note, but not like exactly the same, like the natural landscape was really gorgeous, like the sort of the mountains, and I remember on the first day I arrived I watched like the fog rolling in over the mountains, and I was like, wow, like, I mean, obviously I've seen fog roll over mountains, but I'd never seen it quite like that before. And the trees, and I went like for a lot of walks, so hiking, I went to some of the hills of San Francisco, and the views are just incredible, like the bay, the beaches, just the way that the geology is. Yeah, the landscape was just gorgeous and I loved it. So that was something that I really, really enjoyed, because I am obviously a very kind of nature-oriented person, so if I go somewhere and there's not a lot of nature, or the nature's not very interesting, then I'll be disappointed. But San Francisco absolutely 100% delivered on that front. Yeah, the nature was amazing, the wildlife were amazing, fantastic. I've mentioned this in other videos. I'm going to mention it again because this is a highlights reel. In and Out was awesome. I know that it's mostly an American thing, and even within America I'm informed it's mostly a California thing. But yeah, wonderful. I mean, I always have sort of tempered expectations for fast food places, but it was just done so well. I went once and I went back. So yeah, it was really, really good and so tasty, and I would definitely like to try it again if I get the chance to go back. Right, the next thing that I really, really enjoyed were the Marina and Pier 39, so that sort of section of coastline. Now, I'm aware, and don't come after me on my comments saying it's a tourist trap, I'm aware it's a tourist trap, but still, it was really nice, and I think it's a tourist trap for a reason, because firstly, you've got the bay there, really nice views towards Alcatraz. Secondly, you've got the sea lions, which were gorgeous, and check out my vlog of the San Francisco like coastline if you're interested, because I did like a day on the San Francisco coast and I've included the sea lions in that vlog, and they were really, really good, and there was a lot of stuff on, so there was like this like magic show, or this acrobat, he was doing stuff, and there was a lot of there was loads of stuff to do, and the food was really nice, and it was just a sort of a huge highlight because the weather was great and everything looked great and everything was really fun. So the Marina and Pier 39, 10 out of 10, loved it. The parks were lovely. I guess this should have kind of come under the nature heading a little bit, but I think it's worth giving the San Francisco parks a shout out, because I think there's a very, from what I'm told and what I've observed, there's a very strong like national park culture within California and probably the United States more widely, although if I'm wrong you can let me know in the comments. But something I really loved is how much attention and like prioritizing, is that a word, the parks were given. So they were like really well set up, really well maintained, and I'm talking specifically about the Golden Gate Park, the Presidio, so those two places particularly, but other parks as well. And I did spend a lot of time there, and it seemed like everyone was having a great time, and they were just really, really lovely places to be. So the parks were absolutely gorgeous. And again, this is probably me just being a huge nature nerd, but again, like, amazing, loved it. Okay, the next thing I loved was the cable car system. I went for a cable car ride while I was in San Francisco, and I also went to the Cable Car Museum, and they were wonderful. Really, really loved it. And I just really liked the sense of how they've maintained that system, and it really feels like you're looking at history up close. Like, the history is functioning. The history is taking you for a ride around the city. That was so cool. And the cable cars themselves are very pretty. Like, they're like wood panelled and very comfortable to sit on. At least I found that. And just taking a cable car ride and sort of being able to sit on the side and feel the wind in your face, just amazing. Loved it. I got off the cable car and I was grinning like a little kid. So, cable car ride. And if you haven't been to San Francisco and you're watching this, like maybe one of my British viewers or whatever, hi, then make sure you do that, because so good, like you will not regret it. And finally, I really loved how open-minded, friendly, confident and respectful everyone was. Like, I did see some sketchy behaviour by some random people in public, but genuinely, that was the exception rather than the rule. And you get that in literally any big city. Like, you get that in London. I am very aware that that's a problem for wherever you go. But on the whole, 99.9% of people were super confident, super friendly, super respectful, and really, really open-minded, and I absolutely loved that. Like, I want to just say to everyone in San Francisco, thank you so much for being so cool, because you were wonderful and you made my trip so much better. So, thank you. Okay, those were all my favourite parts of my San Francisco trip. If you are not already subscribed, what are you doing? Make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, and follow me on Instagram. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye!